Good afternoon to no one. A whole no one watching. But if anyone does join, good afternoon to you. And if you're watching this in the future, good afternoon. I'm trying to get a background on this. How did you get a background? Is that the button? No, that is not the button for a background. Right, so I was going to do a preview of Backlash and upload it, but I thought I may as well do it live, just in case anyone wants to join and has any questions. Or if they want to have some discussions around Backlash, which is the first PLE of the new season of WWE, if you count the season finale of WWE as WrestleMania. So traditionally, Backlash is probably one that struggles the most in terms of building up excitement because you've had the crescendo of WrestleMania. But I think they've done a pretty good job this year, WWE, with Backlash and where we are with it. And it's one of Triple H's 5-match PLEs, which is it seems to be the pattern that Triple H follows now, with regards to PLEs that are not the big 5 or the big 6 or anything like that. We're back again, like a live from Hulk Hogan in 2025. Good afternoon, Orton. It may be just you watching today, but thank you for watching and thank you for contributing. And as always, preview. I don't know if you missed the beginning, but I was just saying that traditionally WWE Backlash is the least, or one of the least looked forward to PLEs of the year because it follows WrestleMania. And I think they've done an okay job, a good job this year. And I think, you know, on the whole, Triple H's 5-match PLEs have been good. They've been good to great, I would say, over the last year and a half, 2 years, and it's a decent card. I think it's a good card. I think there's anything that I'm not looking forward to on it. And bar the main event, I agree, it's been decent. Bar the main event, there's nothing that I don't think is can't miss on this. So I reckon it would be a good show. I think, you know, a lot of it is building to obviously the main event, and it is a huge main event. It's a main event 25 years in the making. One last time we get Randy Orton against John Cena, which we'll get to last. But so the other 5 matches, so we've got the both Intercontinental Championships are being defended. We've got Dominik Mysterio defending against Penta. Which is good. I mean, I was lucky enough to be in Vegas for Dom's Intercontinental title win, and it felt huge. It was the right winner. Dom's getting, and he had been for a few weeks building up into WrestleMania, getting a huge positive reactions from the crowd. After just getting huge reactions from the crowd over the last couple of years with boos. So I think this will be a good match. I mean, obviously Penta's great, Dom's great. I think this will be a good match. I cannot see Dom losing this, maybe with interference, and the only way I could see him losing it is if there's potentially interference that backfires, or maybe on purpose from Finn Balor. I liked what they did on Raw with a little hint towards the Bullet Club stuff with AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I actually think it might be best for AJ as well, because AJ Styles hasn't had a storyline it doesn't feel, I mean, he has. He's had a couple of title matches and that, but it doesn't feel like he's had a good, big, meaty storyline for a while that is other than wrestling. And obviously, you don't think it'll be a long, I don't know actually. I don't know if it'll be a long IC title run. Obviously, he hasn't got Liv to help him. Liv won't be there because she's in Japan filming some movie. But he's got obviously Carlito, he's got Raquel, he's got JD McDonough. I don't know. I actually think Dominik reminds me of a throwback Intercontinental champion from years and years ago. Sort of, you know, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, that sort of Intercontinental champion. And they held it on for pretty long. Obviously, it's a different time now in wrestling, so we'll see. But I do think, I agree, Dominik will retain and Penta will lose, I think. But it might not be the cleanest of finishes. And that's fine, because Dominik Mysterio is a heel. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, I think it might be. I think they might team up because it looked like someone's got to turn face in that, and in the Judgment Day soon, because it's getting a bit stale and they need to split. I mean, based on crowd reaction, Dominik is the obvious one to turn face, but I feel like it might be Finn Balor. He might team up with AJ Styles. And Finn will turn. And then, I don't know, I mean, obviously, heel and, I think it will happen. But will that happen at Judgment Day? Judgment Day. Will that happen? We'll do the Judgment Day at Backlash. I don't know. There used to be a PLE or PPV in those days called Judgment Day. That's why I got that confused. But I think that'll be a decent match. Again, you could argue, is it a Raw match? I mean, Raw matches are pretty good these days, so it's not the worst thing in the world describing it as a Raw match. You've got the Fatal 4-Way for the US title. This could be, on paper at least, the match of the night. You've got LA Knight, Damien Priest, who are having this sort of on-off rivalry, hinting at this rivalry thing. Had a decent tag match against Solo and Jacob. And then you've obviously got Jacob Fatu, and you've got Drew McIntyre, who's a big name in this. And it's interesting to see Drew go for the US title. But I don't think that would be I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but I'm going to say something, that Jacob Fatu, on the run that he's on, will lose the title after 1 month. Obviously, he does not have to get pinned, so you can protect Jacob Fatu, who I believe still hasn't been pinned since he's been in WWE. And you could get, so there was a hint, obviously, on SmackDown with Solo saying we need a game plan, and Jacob Fatu said the only game plan he needs is himself running for everyone. And so there's a chance, I reckon, Jacob Fatu could lose because of Solo, without him getting pinned. I mean, Jacob Fatu is not getting pinned tonight, that's for sure, but that could happen. So you could get Jacob Fatu losing it, and maybe Drew McIntyre title run, maybe, because it gives him a title, which he has not had for a long time, bar 5 minutes in Philadelphia last year. And he can raise not that Jacob Fatu can't, but he can raise that title a little bit. So I think there's a chance there. I'm not saying it's a certainty, but I think Dom will retain. But I think there's a chance Jacob Fatu could lose without getting pinned. It depends when they pull the trigger on the Solo thing, because that's obviously a match, and it could happen at Money in the Bank. And everything. The other thought is that Jacob Fatu could enter Money in the Bank, because he would be ridiculous, firstly, climbing up ladders in the Money in the Bank match. And my God, Jacob Fatu with Money in the Bank would be something, wouldn't it? So that's my thought around why. Another reason why maybe he drops the belt tonight, but not a guarantee, definitely. Becky Lynch. Yeah, Becky Lynch. Orton's talking about Jacob and Fatu in two different things. There's a chance Jacob will retain. There's a chance that Fatu will retain. I know he's very good, but he's not two people. So Becky and Lyra. I have to say this. I think this has really helped Lyra develop a character, and obviously this has helped when you've got one of the biggest women's stars of all time. Becky Lynch coming in. I thought her coming back and just winning the tag team titles with Lyra. I have to say I was over that the minute it happened at WrestleMania, and I was very glad they dropped it, and I was even more pleased that she turned heel. I think that was such. If you remember, before Becky went away, Becky was struggling. People get not bored. People don't get bored of her as a babyface. If you remember WrestleMania 40, Becky Lynch was the face and Rhea Ripley was a heel, but you would have not known that from the reactions in the crowd. So I have to say, obviously Becky had that amazing run as the man character when she headlined WrestleMania. Becky 2 belts, all of that. That was a great run, phenomenal run up into one of the best runs in wrestling, I think, from her organic sort of rise in terms of that, male or female. But I'd say big time Bex, the character when she was heel before, and this Becky Lynch, again, I really like this Becky Lynch. I think it breathes new life into it. So, is she going to win? I know people say win to give the title credibility. I think Lyra's doing that. I don't know if she wins it and then drops it again in a month, maybe. It's probably the most chance of any title changing hands tonight is probably the Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkryia one. There's obviously the Bayley feud that's incoming. Bayley's obviously not injured. Or not injured in real story, I don't believe. So I think you'll get Becky. I don't know. Difficult one. Difficult one to predict, this one, which is good. You don't want it all easy to predict and retain. So remember, we get Bayley, coming back to attack Becky, costing her the chance of winning the title, maybe, or something like that. We'll see. And the match, one of the matches I genuinely am looking forward to, which I know is not everyone's cup of tea, but it's Gunther versus Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee. I think he's great on comms. I think he's been great for WWE. WWE's been great for him as well. But I liked him. I liked him when he was wrestling at WrestleMania 38. I like the character bringing. I think he's brilliant. Obviously, he's a commentator, but he's also brilliant on the mic. I think he's cut the promo he cut a couple of weeks ago, and the promo he cut last week with Gunther, I think was fantastic, as was Gunther's. I mean, Gunther's going to kill him, and that's what should happen. But even with Michael Cole on commentary, Gunther killing Pat McAfee, this is going to be some good. I'm looking forward to this. 1,000 jumps. I was actually thinking, is it American football season, and that's why Pat McAfee's in a match and then gets written off? But it's not American football season, I don't believe it. If someone can correct me, I think it's September or something like that. So I don't think this writes Pat McAfee off while he's doing his thing. And I think he can still do Raw anyway now, and it's on Netflix and whatever, and they want it, and he's loving it. Clearly he's loving it, isn't he? So yeah, I think Gunther will kill Pat McAfee. But I think this will be really good and entertaining. And then on to the main event, which is, you know, if you wanted to criticise, you could say it's a one-match show, but it's not a one-match show. But this will be vast majority, given it's in Randy Orton's hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Randy Orton versus John Cena. All the talk about everyone's childhood dying tonight. Whether you're 12 to 55. Tyler said this morning, hey, what about me? I'm only 9. And then John Cena said, don't worry, if you're 3 till 11 as well, your childhood will die tonight. Yeah, I think this, I mean, I'll be honest, everyone who watched wrestling during the time of Orton and Cena got bored of Orton and Cena. Like, it was every single match. It was, I mean, in fairness, they were the top guys. He was the top babyface, and even when Orton was a babyface, this was 2 of the top guys. And it, you know, I don't think, obviously, well, I know WWE wasn't doing as good in that period as it was in the post period or pre period of that. But it did. There was years where I don't think anyone looked forward to an Orton and Cena match. But now, obviously, we've never had a heel Cena versus a babyface Randy Orton before. There is some nostalgia element. I think it'll be decent. I think the crowd will make this match. There are, you know, it seems obviously been getting mixed reactions in America, which is interesting, because in Europe you got straight out booed, but in Vegas last night on SmackDown there was definitely mixed reactions to Cena. I don't think there can't be a mixed reaction because it's in Randy Orton's hometown, so it'll be, you know, hopefully like a Chicago Punk type of crowd, which I think will help this match because, you know, neither of them are young, and we saw Cena wrestle at WrestleMania. And in fairness to him, yeah, absolutely, I agree. Vital part in this. This will be, and they will, because this is the last time you're going to see Randy Orton and John Cena. Definitely the last time you're going to see it for the title, I think, and definitely the last time you're going to see it in Randy Orton's hometown with a heel John Cena and all of that. So there is a bit of history here. Obviously, Orton can make 15. Does Orton win? I can't see it. Does Cody come back? And if Cody comes back, sure, unless he comes back after the match, maybe. I think Cody will be back on SmackDown if he doesn't come back tonight at Backlash. I think they've given him a month off. I think it's the right amount of time. I'm got to the point where I'm really interested to see what Cody Rhodes is going to say, whether they do. You know, I know you said that before, and I get what you're saying. I just don't think the lack of star power on SmackDown means they need Cody. It's last week when they didn't have Cena there. You look at the, you know, and whatever people might say about Charlotte Flair, there's no Charlotte Flair the week before. I'm talking about not last night, the week before last. June, I guess we're almost in June. Yeah, you could wait. You've obviously got Money in the Bank, which is, by all accounts, WWE's 5th show now. It's the 5th biggest show of the year. We don't know if Reigns will be back for that. Punk's obviously around. But SmackDown is lacking star power. So I think that's why you need to bring Cody back. Because last week, when Cena's not going to be every week, and last week when Cena wasn't there was, you know, it was a it was a long 3 hours, and I think they're going back to 2 hours, which I think is a wise move. But we'll see. We'll see whether we get Cody tonight, and if he does he interfere in the match? Sometimes it's not that far off. It isn't. It's 12 weeks. So you've got Money in the Bank, and then you must have something else. You've got Saturday night's main event, and then you've probably got Night of Champions in Saudi or something like that, haven't you? Which is, Saudi show. So we can only get so much excited for that show. So I think it's Money in the Bank, and then is there going to be an Evolution as well? There's talk about it. It's not confirmed though, is there? So like an all, which will be good. That'll be really good. I think the women, especially if you look at NXT women's roster, the WWE women's roster, that will be pretty good. I mean, it counteracts the fact that if they've got a Saudi show a couple of weeks before or afterwards or whatever it is. So your Money in the Bank, which will be good. And I think Money in the Bank, I'm already looking forward to, because I don't think there's any obvious winners. We don't even know who the 6/7/8 men or women who are going to be in there. I've said it for a while. I want my husband and wife, Jimmy and Naomi, to be winning Money in the Bank. So I don't think they will both. Naomi, I think definitely has a better chance. I think that is confirmed about Evolution in July. So that will help if there's also a Saudi show as well in July with the leaders, because SummerSlam's the first weekend in August. So I think, you could keep Cody. You could keep Cody off. Like I said, for me, it's not about tonight and Backlash. He does not need to be. I think he does, because, assuming Orton loses tonight, okay, that's the Orton challenge out of the way. Assuming Cena's doing Money in the Bank, do you get the Cody-Cena rematch then? Do you get Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam? There's loads of talk, isn't there, about Travis Scott doing a tag team match or something like that. That is obviously like a SummerSlam match, isn't it? And that's which I know is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I will not be upset if Travis Scott is wrestling at SummerSlam. But I think there's I cannot see Randy Orton winning tonight, because what do you do with that? CM Punk winning Money in the Bank. If that's what you're saying, I mean, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then he has to bring back this Fire Burns as well, just so he could cash it in, just like he did all those years ago. I think Money in the Bank is Money in the Bank. I mean, again, I've talked many times on this channel about how stacked WWE is right now, and I think especially men saying, Punk v Cena, yeah, of course, Punk v Cena at SummerSlam, Punk v Cena at Money in the Bank. I think they've got, if you think of Money in the Bank, Night of Champions, SummerSlam, they've got big match. Obviously, you've got Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns surely will be back by Summer. He will. There's no way they're not doing SummerSlam 2 nights and trying to sell 2 nights out, 60,000 people at MetLife without having Roman Reigns in. So you've got Roman Reigns in a match of a kind as well. So there's some big stuff to come down. This is, let's say, it's a filler PLA. It's a PLA. It's Backlash. I mean, I think they've done really well over the years doing the international Backlash. If I think of Puerto Rico, you think of France. Obviously, last year was, I think, I am actually surprised, but actually, St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. Yeah, you do have options for Cena this year, and obviously he said it. He's on 27 now dates, and those on all matches. I think he's advertised for all the from what we can see. So he'll obviously not Evolution, but he'll be advertised for all the PLEs. So you think those will be his matches? There's about 2 or 3 Saturday night's main events as well, which I think there's one in 2 weeks' time. Saturday night's main events. I don't know if they'll have Cena on that. I'm sure they'll have Nia versus Tiffany Stratton, and I'm not sure they will have Cena. I guess you could have Jay versus someone defending the men's. Jay versus Logan, that's it. Probably going to be Jay versus Logan at Saturday night's main event. As they haven't pulled, I thought that was for Backlash. I almost thought that was announced, but obviously it was never announced, and we just looked like it was going to happen at Backlash. So maybe you get that at Saturday night's main event. But yeah, tonight I see Cena, whatever way it happens, Cena will retain, much to the anger of the crowd. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Does Cody come afterwards? Does Cody get involved? Does someone else get involved? You've still got a Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton feud at some point. And I don't think Randy Orton's going on forever. So that has to happen in the next couple of years. But yeah, that is Backlash. And it is a few hours away. we'll be watching it tomorrow morning in the UK. And yeah, I think we'll see. It's like I said, the 5-match shows are normally good. I think you get a hot crowd, hopefully, definitely for the main event. That will help. I mean, the international crowds, like I said, has really helped Backlash for the last few years. We haven't got one today. But that's it. Hopefully, you know, you'll take a watch of this video and have 20 minutes to preview Backlash before you watch Backlash. And if you do, obviously comment as always. And if you haven't, like, subscribe, and all of those kinds of things. But thank you to Orton for watching, and for the other 2 or 3 viewers that I've had watching. Next time, please do comment. Always comment. I'll always reply to all the comments, or acknowledge all the comments. And there we go. Backlash 2025, St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, as always in the comments, what do you think is going to happen? Any predictions? Take care, and speak to you guys soon.